Hey everyone! Stupid happened. So, Cooler Master has redesigned the tube that their thermal paste comes into a more flat thing instead of the syringe that lots of thermal paste comes in, like Cooler Master's old stuff, NZXT's stuff, a whole lot actually. But it was their reasoning behind, and don't know if it's a joke or not, if it's serious or just for the laughs, because laughs are always good, and this is actually funny. They're blaming parents for this change, and it basically stated that they have changed the thermal paste tube, so that how it's packaged, because they're sick and tired of parents. They're sick and tired of parents complaining about their children supposedly using drugs. So basically they're stating that parents think that the thermal paste tubes are drugs. So yeah, stupid. But really, I don't get it. Firstly, this change, because it's a more flat application method, is going to actually affect how a lot of people apply thermal paste and possible sales of it. So there's going to have to be reviews done on it so that you know if it's good or not. I'm doing 3 different kinds. They're doing Master Gel Standard or something. It'll be the cheap one. They're also doing a Master Gel Pro, I think, and a Master Gel Maker or something. I got 3 tiers. Basic needs, more intense needs, and you really need. So yeah, it's funny. I think it's more of a joke. I don't think they're serious that they have so many parents coming to them, just them, thinking that the kids are using drugs because of thermal paste syringes. Because there's no way that can inject into you. You can't just go straight from the syringe into you for thermal paste. And I don't know, parents, but if this is true, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure that thermal paste will be lying around in plain sight. I don't think that if your kids were doing drugs that they would leave it lying around waiting for you to find it. Also, you kind of hope that parents know their kids' interests. Like if they're building a computer, you'd hope that you'd know, like there'll be a big lot of parts lying around. Building PCs is messy work. One thing though that they are including with the new design of thermal paste tubing is a cloth, so that you can clean off previous thermal goop so that you can apply your new Cooler Master stuff faster. So yeah, that's actually really helpful. Not everyone has rubbing alcohol or stuff like that, paper towel. Here in Australia we don't have coffee filters. We don't do our coffees like people in America do them, so we can't use a coffee filter. So to be able to have something that comes with your packaging to allow you to clean your CPU is rather good. My only question is this a one-time use cloth or you can use it many times? That's a question. My other question, and it won't be found out till reviews, and I hope that when reviews happen they do test this out. Sorry, my arm's getting sore. But what I hope they test out is in comparison to the heat spreader size on an Intel CPU, normal core CPU, versus a mainstream AMD CPU. Intel, in my opinion, is slightly smaller. But then you go to your HEDT CPUs, so your 10980s for Intel, and your Threadripper for AMD. So the heat spreaders on those are much larger, especially on Threadripper. So I want to know how well the application method works for HEDT more than mainstream, because mainstream is smaller. I can imagine it probably being easier, but it's going to be a learning curve for those that prefer Cooler Master because you can't use the P method anymore. But yes, in all honesty, I reckon that this is more of a joke than anything else. It's because it is funny. I don't think that it's serious that they get so many complaints from parents of, you make it look like my kids are doing drugs. You never know, there might be some parent that has no interest in their children and then all of a sudden sees this and is all like, oh, you can't do that. Sorry, it's just thermal paste. So what I reckon it is trying to make, in the grand scheme of many application methods for thermal paste, so the P method, the X method, the line method, the X with the dots, putting it on and then wiping it down flat. So there's lots of different methods for thermal paste application. I reckon what they're trying to do is differentiate their product from everyone else's by having a different tube, for one, makes their product look different, obviously, but also it means that there is a single way to apply the thermal paste, which is where it becomes interesting between different CPU heat spreader sizes, since that the previous methods that I've mentioned work for different CPUs. Like the X with the dots is great for Threadripper. The line is awesome for Ryzen. You can do a P for Ryzen 2, you might need a slightly bigger P. Intel P. So yes, there's going to be only one way to apply this, and I reckon for some CPUs you're going to have to apply it twice, because you may not get the whole heat spreader for the CPU, and also depending on how thick the paste is put on. So if it's a really thin layer, it may not spread. If it was a thick layer, it might, so it might be alright. But yeah, that's basically it. It'll be rather interesting to see how this goes, in all honesty. So that's all I have for you today. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button. Don't forget to click subscribe while you're here, and I hope to see you all next time in the next video. See ya!